the three algorithms they impose or they propose 8 to 21 days, then 22 to 28 days. This is the new thing. And then 29 to 60 days. But there are some caveats or some controversies that they exclude 0 to 7 days. So it means the new, very, very newborn, it's not included in that. It has to be a well-appearing kid. Then the high risk according to the age stratification, and then they have to be full-term 37 weeks and above. The problem is that every country is changing bacteriology. So the antibiotic selection has to be very, very careful and judicious use. Do not linger on antibiotic for a long period of a time. This is from the United States. E. coli is the first bacteria nowadays, and it is just published in 2020. E. coli first, then Pseudomonas, then Staph aureus, then Klebsiella, and then Acinetobacter. Now the thing is that we all have to do it. I will show our own in 2020 from SSMC. The cost of unnecessary care, because we are doing a lot of LPs, we are doing a lot of high type of the antibiotic and for a long period of a time. So we have to cut down. Advance in testing, but advance in testing come with a pay. Everybody doing CRP, this and that every day. Okay, so what happened in my center? Just before discharge they did the CRP. Why? Just to see the trend. Now the CRP is 30. What you will do? What you will do? Baby is fine, everything is okay, recover from surgery and everything. He's a surgical baby. So anyway, so that's how it is. But there is a now confirmed test we have. I will talk about that. Procalcitonin is, of course, you know that thyroid C cells drive, and it is also very valuable. Viral testing is available, especially the PCR now. We can do the PCR in the CSF also. So this is also, and there are a few emerging technologies which is not available here. Now what is the meaning of evidence for age-based risk stratification? It is no-brainer. The lower the age, the higher the risk. The lower the age, higher the risk. So 8 to 21 has a higher risk. And these are 3-4 committees. One is the Pediatric Emergency Care Applied Research Network, and the other one is the Pediatric Office Research Network. And all do the same thing. As you can see, this is 22,000 babies in that over the period of 3 years. And as you can see that the 8 to 21 in all this thing which is in the blue has a higher risk of having sepsis. So they put the inclusion and the exclusion criteria. So what is the inclusion criteria to follow these algorithms? It has to be well appearing. It has to be rectal temperature. Many times I notice that they do just air temperature and this thing and this. No, it has to be rectal temperature. And many residents and the people ask, oh, why not 38.1? Why not 37.9? Please, whatever it is 38. 38 and above, you go through this. Okay, so gestational age more than 37, less than 42, 8 to 60 days, home after discharge from newborn nursery or born at home. But you can include this if they have the respiratory system. Why they did that? Because what happened? Oh, baby has this thing. And from the clinics, from the office, from the private clinics, they discharged the baby without doing the further evaluation. So they said, no, you should evaluate because it can be the bacterial infection also. The exclusion is, I discussed that preterm 37 weeks, 2 weeks with the perinatal course completed by maternal fever, infection, antimicrobial, high suspicion of HSV, which is herpes, focal bacterial infection, clinical bronchiolitis, if it's severe picture of the bronchiolitis, and so on and so forth. The ghost of the guidelines in the past is we are doing a lot of CSF. Is still I'm not talking about the UAE only, or I'm not talking about your centers, but there are many centers in the UAE who is still doing the CSF up to 3 months of age. Okay, but outside the UAE also they are using this practice. So we have to limit those practices. And of course, I will talk about these bacteria. So these are the level of evidence. If the level of evidence A is strong, B is moderate, C is weak, and then X means is favor of harm. So just quickly go through the first algorithm. So if you receive a baby 8 to 21 days, well appearing, no evident source of the infection, and if the temperature is more than 38, you have to obtain urine analysis, you have to do the blood culture, you have to perform the LP. But I don't know if you can see from here or not, they said may obtain the inflammatory markers. So it's optional, because inflammatory marker to diagnose the infection is not that valuable. Yes, it can show you the trend. If increased risk of HSV, then of course you have to send the HSV. What is the meaning of increased risk of HSV? Maternal history, vesicles, seizures, hypothermia, CSF pleocytosis, gram stain, and thrombocytopenia, and elevated alanine. And the recommended test you all know better than me. So if you have a high risk of the HSV, then you have to go to the parental antimicrobial with acyclovir. If not, then you initiate antimicrobial, observe in the hospital. This baby cannot be discharged. And then pathogen or the source identified. If yes, treat for infection, whatever the infection it is. If not, then 36 to 48 hours, when the cultures come negative, discharge the baby home. Now the key action statement in these, they have a 21 key action statement, and these are very important. So 8 to 21, they stress on the urine culture and SBA and urine analysis. And they give the values more than 5 WBC, more than 10 WBC, and what you should do. Urine analysis estimated 10%, 94% have urine analysis. So all these you will do. Now they recommend in the small babies, do not do the catheterization. Develop your skill. I don't know, maybe Eamon is here, know that we do SPA most of the time in the USA, the suprapubic aspiration. So please, in the small babies, do the suprapubic aspiration. It is less invasive, less harmful, less carry the infection to the babies. So this is the new thing. This is a weak recommendation that infant hospital and IMs are not required for these initial decision. As I told you, that internal, the inflammatory markers are not very well this thing. CSF values, they just a little bit change. I think I will send it to Sharif, and you can ask Sharif to take this picture. There's a little bit change in it. They give the mean, median, and the range. Please follow that one, because there is a lot of things. Oh, the CSF is 30. I say, it's okay, WBC. No, the range is 0 to 18. Any 19 I will consider. Either you will do it according to some reference or don't do it. Okay, so this I will send to Sharif, and then you will all get it. Okay, this is very important. To calculate how many days you should give the antibiotics. So between 4% and 17.6% of pathogens take more than 24 hours to grow, and 0 to 9% take more than 36 hours. So for example, GBS taking 9.3 to 14.3 hours. So if you have the GBS infection, you should have the culture positive maximum by 36 hours. So if you suspect that, then it has to be. E. coli take 11.3 to 13.6 hours. Staph aureus take a little bit longer. The idea what they are giving, do not prolong the antibiotic. If the cultures are negative, go to your labs, ask them, and follow that, so you cannot linger on with the antibiotics. Now, of course, you can allow in the room, but now this is the thing in our neonatal nurseries, the nurses are not trained, so we admit in the NICUs. So this is the eye-opener. This is from our hospital from SSMC. We have the similar kind of a picture what Americans have. We equalize the number 1 Klebsiella and number 2 Pseudomonas is number 3 and Staph aureus is also the same. But look at amikacin. 100% is sensitive in what is growing in our unit. It's maybe not the same as yours, but it's 100%. I don't need to start anything, meropenem or anything, okay, or tazocin. So please stick to the basic thing. Ask your lab to do the antibiogram like that and give you the sensitivity. It may be. I just did, Sridhar is talking to me in Pakistan. They think that, oh, we have a very resistant bacteria. Well, why not? Because when we did this similar study in my city in Karachi, they are all sensitive to a very oxacillin or flucloxacillin. They don't require the meropenem, and they are using these medicines left and right. So this is just one of the things. Discharge, you should have the clinical. I just started and it shows 5 minutes. Can you imagine? Clinician should discontinue parental antimicrobial culture, should negative for 24 to 36 hours. There is no 48 hours nowadays. Okay? So 24 to 36 hours, the infant continues to appear clinically well. There are no other reason for its hospitalization. You discharge the baby. No, it is not. I will continue. Okay? Don't show me. Okay. Well appearing 22 to 28 days old infant. What change in this one? Again, 22 to 28, well appearing, you have a fever. Obtain urine analysis, blood cultures, and in this case, you do the inflammatory markers. Okay? Because the chances of having infection are a little bit less than the first thing. So you have to see if the positive urine analysis, no, then, or if the abnormal IM, no, then may perform the LP, otherwise do not perform the LP. Then you go according to your results, whatever. If the CSF is positive, then treat accordingly. If not, then just see the blood culture or urine culture and treat accordingly. So the change is that initially we do the LP, and in the 22 to 28 days, we should do the inflammatory markers. Again, they specify and they stress on the urine specimen, catheterization or SPA, but they prefer the suprapubic aspiration. So this is the clinical evidence according to the evidence on the inflammatory markers. So the PROS network, which is the Pediatric Research Office network, about 3,000 babies in that, okay? And what they found it out, if the temperature is more than 38.7, when combined with the ill appearance, less than 25 age, had the sensitivity of 93, sorry. Okay. So the sensitivity is about 93%, but the negative predictive value is 99.6. It means if it is negative, then the chances of having infection is very, very low. The ANC is 4,090, around 4,000. When combined with an abnormal urine acid and procalcitonin, which is 1.7 nanograms, detected 29 of the 30 cases. The sensitivity is 96.7% and the specificity is not that great. No case of meningitis was missed according to them. So once for all, I cleared the procalcitonin versus CRP thing. The procalcitonin is better, more specific, more sensitive than CRP if you think of bacterial infection. No doubt about that. This is just clear about that. But of course, any inflammatory marker in the world, you cannot use it alone, okay? So the currently the best IM available, it should not be used alone for decision making. 20% of the febrile infants can have with the bacterial meningitis, can have the procalcitonin is less than 0.5. So that's why we shouldn't do right away. Take a history and see if the baby is sick for more than 4, 5, 6 hours or 1 day, then you should do at the time of admission. So again, the moderate recommendation that clinician should obtain CSF if they meet the criteria, urine analysis is still negative or positive, no IM obtained, is abnormal, blood and urine cultures have been obtained, and the infant should be hospitalized in this case. The treatment, if everything is negative, CSF suggests bacterial meningitis or urine is positive, you have to treat. This is no brainer. But the CSF analysis is normal, urine analysis is normal, and the IM is obtained, you can give the antibiotic trial. The last one is the well-appearing kid, which is 29 to 60 days old infant, and it is almost the same what we are doing, but again, they remove the CSF. It's only if any of the IM, which is inflammatory markers, is positive, then you may perform according to the condition of the baby, and if the CSF result is positive, then you go to your algorithm. So diagnostic evaluation is the same what we are talking about. Clinician should obtain the blood culture, of course, and the treatment is the same according to your results. So because of the timing, I'm little going fast. So the initial treatment, clinician should use parenteral antimicrobial therapy if CSF analysis suggests bacterial. Of course, this is a quality A, and the clinician may use parenteral antimicrobial therapy if both of the following is negative.
3 minutes, doctor.
Yeah, I'm just finishing. That's it. Okay. So last but not the least, these are the just what you called it recommendation of antibiotic. So if you have a baby 8 to 21 days old, you can use ampicillin IV or IM, and either the ceftazidime if the UTI is confirmed, or gentamicin IV or IV. So there is no big thing. So this is, and go according to your sensitivity. If you have a 22 to 28, then you have used ceftriaxone, and 29 to 60, then ceftriaxone. No focus identify. They started with ampicillin and ceftazidime. Okay. Previously, we are starting with ampicillin and cefotaxime, but because of the bacteriology change, they changed it to ceftazidime. If you want to change, you have to have the antibiogram in your unit and the sensitivities. If 22 to 28 is the same ceftriaxone, and 29 to 60 is the same. Bacterial meningitis, again ampicillin, ceftazidime. For the younger age, ampicillin and ceftazidime for up to 28 days, and ceftriaxone is in the thing. So this is the nutshell of all the algorithms which we just discussed. That urine, you have to do it in all these 3 ages. Blood culture, you have to do it. Inflammatory markers in the younger age is optional. What you call in the other age is yes. CSF is yes in younger age, but other, you have to go through other criteria, what we just discussed. Disposition, I don't agree. In 8 to 21 days is hospital, but other ages they said hospital or home. We don't have that much good home care. So I recommend, this is just my suggestion, to admit and treat the baby until they free from infection. Okay, so this is the recommendation for 8 to 21 days, and 22 to 28, and 29 to 60 days. The only one line I have to mention before we end this talk, keep in mind that these are the guidelines and do not replace the clinician judgment. They also do not claim to be the standard of care. So all the guidelines cannot be used as standard of care. See, your clinical judgment is more than anything, and involve the team. Involve the multidisciplinary team, your pharmacist, your microbiologist, your pathologist, and then treat that baby. And why you have to involve the team? Last sentence, because none of us is as smart as all of us. Thank you very much.